There's a quiet kind of relief that only comes the moment you step inside a home that truly feels like it belongs to you, where every hallway, every doorway, seems to move with you rather than against you. Diane, 74, knows this feeling well. She lingers at the entrance, letting the calm settle over her as she notices the gentle flow of space, the light spilling across familiar floors, the absence of unnecessary obstacles. Her shoulders ease, and a sense of quiet confidence spreads through her as she takes her first steps inside. At Wise Aging Seniors, we explore how subtle, thoughtful adjustments in your home can create this same sense of ease, safety, and independence, helping life feel lighter and calmer each day. If this resonates with you, tap like and subscribe. Every action helps us share more ways seniors can enjoy comfortable, manageable living. That initial calm is just the beginning. As Diane moves from room to room, she begins to notice the small changes that quietly make her home feel safer, more welcoming, and gently supportive of every day. Reason 1. You'll feel safer the moment you walk in. Diane stands at the entrance of her home, taking a moment to simply notice the space around her. The hallway is uncluttered, the floor clear, and the light filtering through the windows casts soft, familiar patterns that make the room feel open and welcoming. She steps inside and feels an immediate sense of ease. There's no hesitation, no mental calculation about where to place her feet or how to navigate around obstacles. The clear entryway gives her more than just physical space. It provides a quiet reassurance that this is a home where she can move freely, safely, and without strain. It's the little details she appreciates, the small table against the wall that holds only essentials, the coat hooks that keep her everyday items neatly in place, and the open sightlines that allow her to see from the front door all the way into the living area. Each element contributes to a sense of calm, reducing the subtle tension that often builds when a home feels crowded or demanding. This first encounter with the entryway sets the tone for the rest of her day, creating a foundation of confidence that makes every subsequent movement feel lighter and more intentional. For anyone living alone, the doorway isn't just a threshold, it's the first invitation to feel supported by your surroundings, a quiet signal that the space around you has been arranged with your ease in mind. And that calm didn't stop at the doorway, it flowed into her living spaces, where every room she moves through continues to reinforce a sense of safety, comfort, and gentle independence, showing how even small, thoughtful adjustments can transform the way you experience your own home. Reason 2. You'll have space to move freely. As Diane steps into her living room, she immediately notices how open the space feels. The furniture is arranged thoughtfully, leaving wide pathways that allow her to move without pausing or twisting awkwardly. She can walk from the sofa to the window, from the armchair to the bookshelf, without having to navigate around piles of items or carefully placed decorations. That freedom is more than physical, it's a subtle, calming reassurance that her home is supporting her independence. She notices how the soft rug underfoot provides gentle traction, how the coffee table is positioned just far enough to prevent bumping, and how the natural light flowing through the windows highlights the open floor without glare or shadows that could create hesitation. Every step feels intentional, effortless, and safe. The space encourages her to move naturally, without thinking twice, which not only reduces physical strain but eases the mental load that often comes with crowded or cluttered rooms. Diane also realizes that even small adjustments, like removing a rarely used chair or shifting a plant to a corner, can dramatically change how open and inviting a room feels, making her feel more in control of her environment. This clarity of space transforms ordinary routines into moments of quiet confidence. Reaching for a book, settling into a chair, or even pausing to enjoy a cup of tea feels simpler and more comfortable. For seniors living alone, this clarity of space becomes an unspoken reassurance, letting you know that your home works with you, not against you. With fewer obstacles, even the kitchen began to feel easier to navigate, a place where everyday tasks no longer demand constant caution, and where every step reinforces a growing sense of ease, safety, and calm throughout the home. Reason 3. You'll stop worrying about every step. Diane moves into the kitchen and immediately notices how effortlessly she can reach the counter. There's nothing in her way, no stacked items, no boxes, no chairs tucked awkwardly into corners. Each step feels natural, free from hesitation or the need to plan her movements carefully. She pauses for a moment to take it in, realizing how much mental energy she used to spend just navigating a space that felt cluttered or crowded. That constant awareness of where to place her feet, which objects to avoid, or how to squeeze past obstacles had added a quiet tension to her daily life. Now, with clear paths and thoughtful arrangements, she can simply focus on what she came to do: preparing a cup of tea, reaching for a utensil, or setting down a dish. The relief isn't dramatic, but it's profound, an almost imperceptible lifting of stress that comes with knowing she won't stumble or have to adjust her movement at every turn. Diane notices how this freedom allows her to move with more grace and confidence, making routines feel lighter and more natural. She even finds herself pausing to enjoy little moments she would have rushed through before, like glancing out the window at the morning light or feeling the texture of a favorite dish. For anyone living alone, minimizing these micro-hurdles transforms ordinary actions into moments of calm and self-assurance, reinforcing the sense that the home truly supports independence rather than complicating it. It's not just about tidiness, it's about the quiet reassurance that each step is safe, each movement is intentional, and the home is aligned with her needs. And as she opened a drawer, she realized something else about her home. Another subtle shift that made life easier and reinforced that sense of calm, showing how thoughtful simplicity quietly enhances both safety and comfort every day. Reason 4. You'll have only what you truly need close by. Diane opens a drawer and notices that only the items she uses daily are within easy reach: her favorite mug, the utensil she reaches for every morning, a few neatly stacked plates. There's nothing excess, nothing tucked away just in case that clutters her view or distracts her attention. She feels a subtle relief, realizing that she no longer has to sift through items she rarely touches or remember where she stored things she doesn't need regularly. This small adjustment, having only the essentials close at hand, creates a quiet efficiency that goes unnoticed by anyone else but makes her daily life feel lighter and more manageable. She can move through her kitchen tasks with calm focus, without mental interruptions or the tiny friction that comes from too many choices or unnecessary items. The reduction in clutter doesn't feel austere, it feels supportive, almost like the home is quietly anticipating her needs, offering only what is useful and comforting. Diane notices that even small habits, like keeping frequently used spices or tools in easy-to-reach spots, make her feel more competent and independent, reinforcing her confidence in daily routines. This intentional selection allows her mind to rest from constant decision-making, giving her energy for the things that matter to her in the moment. Savoring tea, enjoying a quiet breakfast, or simply pausing to take in the room's natural light. For seniors living alone, surrounding yourself with only what you truly need transforms ordinary routines into moments of ease and calm. And as the bedroom cleared, she felt an unexpected sense of lightness, a quiet mental breathing space that made the room feel welcoming, serene, and fully in her control, proving that thoughtful simplicity extends its benefits far beyond the kitchen. Reason 5. The weight of the past starts to lift. Diane steps into a corner of her home that once held a collection of boxes, old mementos, and items she had kept just in case. For years, these objects had been a quiet presence, a subtle reminder of obligations, memories, and decisions long past. Today, the space feels different. The clutter has been thoughtfully pared down, and as Diane looks around, she notices an unexpected sense of lightness, not just visually, but emotionally. There's a calm she hadn't realized she was missing, a small easing of the mental weight that came from holding on to things out of habit, nostalgia, or obligation. She realizes that every item removed or relocated has quietly freed up room for her attention, her energy, and her daily life. The home no longer whispers reminders of the past or creates hidden obstacles in her routines. Instead, it feels responsive, supportive, and present-focused. Diane can pause in this previously crowded space without feeling overwhelmed or tense, simply noticing how the openness allows her mind to breathe, her body to move without hesitation, and her thoughts to settle. Letting go of excess has become an act of self-care, reinforcing the idea that she doesn't need to carry the past with her in order to feel connected to it. Even small choices, like keeping only a few meaningful photographs or storing seldom-used keepsakes out of sight, have contributed to this sense of mental clarity, making everyday navigation calmer and safer. For seniors living alone, releasing the unnecessary allows the home to reflect what truly matters, creating a supportive environment that nurtures both independence and emotional well-being. And with that lightness came small moments of confidence. Diane reaching for an item without hesitation, moving through the room with steady, assured steps, and noticing that each part of her home now quietly encourages her to live fully and freely in the present, proving that simplicity does more than organize space. It transforms how living alone can feel safe, calm, and empowering. Reason 6. Quiet confidence grows in small ways. Diane opens her bedroom closet and effortlessly locates her favorite sweater, the one she reaches for nearly every morning. There's no hesitation, no need to shift through piles or second-guess which items are clean, accessible, or in the right place. That simple moment, seemingly small, carries a quiet weight of reassurance. It's not just about the sweater. It's about the steady confidence that builds when the home consistently supports her needs without demanding extra thought or energy. As she moves through the house, from the bedroom to the kitchen and then into the living room, each action feels smooth, natural, and intentional. She notices that daily routines that once required careful planning now unfold almost effortlessly, creating a sense of rhythm and predictability that strengthens her independence. There's a subtle pride in recognizing that she can manage her environment on her own, that her home aligns with her habits, preferences, and pace of life. These small victories, finding a sweater without fuss, reaching a favorite chair without stepping around obstacles, preparing a cup of tea without rearranging items, accumulate, quietly reinforcing her belief in her own capabilities. Diane realizes that the environment she has curated acts almost like a gentle partner, enabling her to move with ease, reduce unnecessary stress, and reclaim energy for the moments that bring her enjoyment. For anyone living alone, these incremental improvements are more than practical. They are affirmations of autonomy and self-reliance, showing that thoughtful simplicity fosters both physical comfort and emotional assurance. And as daily tasks felt simpler, her routines began to flow more naturally, with each small adjustment building on the last, creating a home that is not only safe and functional but also nurturing, empowering, and deeply aligned with the rhythm of her independent life. Reason 7. Daily life flows without unneeded effort. Diane moves from her bedroom to the kitchen and then into the living room, noticing how effortlessly she transitions from one space to another. The pathways are open, the furniture thoughtfully placed, and items she uses regularly are within easy reach, allowing her movements to feel fluid and natural. She realizes she no longer has to pause, adjust, or navigate around obstacles at every turn. Each step requires less thought, less energy, and less caution. This ease extends beyond the physical. It brings a subtle mental relief, freeing her from the constant micro-decisions that used to clutter her mind. Preparing a cup of tea, picking up a book, or simply moving to the living room chair no longer demands conscious planning. The flow of her daily life feels seamless, almost effortless. Diane notices that reduced friction in routines decreases fatigue, making her feel lighter, more capable, and in control of her environment. Small, intentional changes, like relocating rarely used items, adjusting furniture placement, and keeping pathways clear, have compounded to create a home that moves with her rather than against her. Even the way natural light now spills across open floors or the careful placement of rugs that prevent slips adds to the effortless flow, creating moments where she can simply be present without distraction. The simple act of having a space designed around her natural movements fosters a quiet confidence, reinforcing her sense of independence and well-being. For seniors living alone, these subtle shifts can transform ordinary tasks into calming, manageable experiences, turning what used to feel like effort into a rhythm that feels instinctive and reassuring. Diane even notices small, often overlooked adjustments, like a chair moved slightly for easier access or a basket for daily essentials, that cumulatively make the home feel more harmonious, supportive, and alive with quiet efficiency. And she began noticing that even overlooked corners contributed to her sense of ease, each small adjustment quietly reinforcing the feeling that her home is safe, supportive, and truly aligned with her everyday needs, allowing her to move through her day with comfort, assurance, and gentle independence. Reason 8. Your home feels like it works with you. Diane settles into her favorite chair in the living room and takes a moment to observe her surroundings. The space feels familiar yet unexpectedly supportive, almost as if it understands her daily rhythms and needs. She notices how the placement of furniture allows her to move freely without interruption, how the lighting highlights the spots she frequents most, and how the objects she uses regularly are within easy reach. Every detail, from the positioning of the side table to the openness of the floor, seems to gently guide her through her day, creating a subtle harmony between her movements and the environment. It's a different feeling from merely being in a tidy room. This is a home that responds to her life, rather than demanding adaptation from her. Diane realizes that when the home works with her, the little frustrations of daily routines, like reaching for a book, setting down a cup of tea, or walking from one room to another, fade into the background. There's no extra effort needed, no hesitation, no minor annoyances that previously stole her attention and energy. This responsiveness builds a quiet confidence, reinforcing her sense of autonomy and independence. She feels dignity in knowing that her surroundings are designed to support her choices, allowing her to move gracefully, comfortably, and intentionally. For seniors living alone, a home that works with you transforms the experience of everyday life. It becomes an ally, reducing subtle stressors, enhancing calm, and nurturing a sense of self-reliance. Diane notices that this feeling extends beyond what she can see. It's in the rhythm of her day, the flow of tasks, and the ease with which she moves from one activity to the next. And that calm was more than visual, it was something she felt in her daily rhythm, a reassurance that her home is aligned with her life, providing a constant, gentle support that encourages independence, comfort, and a sustained sense of peace. Every corner, every choice of arrangement, every intentional simplification contributes to this experience, making her home not just a place to live, but a space that actively enhances her well-being and her confidence in living fully on her own. Reason 9. You feel the difference before you see it. Diane moves through her home and notices a subtle change she hadn't expected. It's not in the decor, the furniture, or the objects she touches. It's in how she feels as she walks from one room to another. Her steps feel lighter, her movements smoother, and a quiet sense of ease accompanies even the smallest tasks. She realizes that the calm isn't something she can immediately point to visually. It's woven into the rhythm of her routines, in the gentle flow of her day, and in the absence of tension she had once carried. Each step feels natural, unhurried, and unencumbered, as if the home itself is quietly guiding her. Making thoughtful choices, keeping pathways clear, limiting items to what's truly needed, arranging furniture intuitively, has created an environment where comfort and support are felt as much as they are seen. Diane notices how reaching for a cup, opening a drawer, or moving across the living room no longer requires extra mental energy or careful calculation. Even when she glances around, the visual changes seem minor, yet the effect on her well-being is profound. The house feels lighter, calmer, almost in sync with her pace and rhythm. This subtle difference, though often invisible to an outside eye, signals that the home is truly supporting her independence and well-being. She feels a quiet gratitude for the freedom that comes with less clutter and more intentionality, realizing that the absence of unnecessary obstacles allows her attention, energy, and thoughts to flow more freely. For seniors living alone, these gentle shifts matter deeply. They reduce the hidden stress of navigating a crowded or poorly arranged space and cultivate a pervasive sense of safety, reassurance, and control that might otherwise go unnoticed. And noticing these small differences helped her reflect on why her home feels safer overall, how intentional simplicity, thoughtful arrangement, and the careful removal of excess combine to create a living environment that is quietly responsive, nurturing, and profoundly supportive. Diane experiences firsthand how these subtle changes allow her to move through each day with both ease and confidence, making ordinary routines feel lighter, safer, and more satisfying, and leaving her with a lingering sense of peace that extends far beyond the visual order of the rooms themselves. Diane sits quietly in her living room, letting her eyes wander across the spaces she has gradually transformed. Each area reflects careful consideration, yet the changes are subtle, nothing flashy or imposing. The uncluttered entryway welcomes her every time she walks in, the living room pathways flow smoothly without interruption, and the kitchen holds only what she truly uses each day. These small, intentional adjustments have done more than create order. They have cultivated a sense of calm and assurance that Diane hadn't realized she was missing. She reflects on how once the home felt heavy, almost demanding her attention at every turn, and now it feels supportive, responsive, and quietly encouraging. Each step, each routine, is met with ease, allowing her to focus on what matters. Enjoying a cup of tea, pausing to read a favorite book, or simply resting in her favorite chair. Diane notices that these changes also ripple into her emotional well-being. The mental weight of clutter, the constant planning, hesitation, and micro-decisions, has lifted, replaced by subtle confidence and a quiet reassurance that her home aligns with her life. She feels a deeper sense of independence, knowing she can navigate her day without interruption, that her home supports her choices rather than restricting them. It's not about perfection or rigidity. It's about creating an environment where she feels capable, comfortable, and dignified. Each small adjustment, the thoughtful placement of furniture, the clearing of a pathway, the careful selection of items to keep nearby, adds up to a home that is both practical and nurturing. At Wise Aging Seniors, we focus on these small steps that make life calmer, safer, and easier every day. Share your experience, leave a comment, and subscribe to help others discover how thoughtful adjustments can enhance independence while preserving dignity. Diane smiles, appreciating how her home now works with her rather than against her. She feels a lasting warmth and reassurance. Her life is capable, her home can support it, and every small step matters. The simple choices she has made transform not only her space but her daily experience, creating a rhythm of living that feels effortless, confident, and deeply aligned with her needs. This reflection leaves her with a profound sense of belonging and pride, proof that thoughtful simplicity can make living alone not just manageable, but genuinely safe, comforting, and empowering. Every corner of her home now quietly reinforces her independence, allowing Diane to move through her day with calm assurance, savoring the freedom and dignity that comes from a space truly attuned to her life.